Hey guys, it is Tiffany Ott, also known as @TechieTeachOtt over on Twitter, and I am here on our Facebook page talking to Alex Valencic. Did I say that right, Alex, your last name?
Yes, you did. You get like 1,000,000 internet points for not butchering my last name.
Woohoo! I have a lot of practice trying to say names that I really don't know how to say, but I'm glad I said yours correctly. We just finished up our mastery chat over on Twitter, and the topic was teachers helping teachers. The moderator was Alex right over here, and it was a great topic. I love the teachers helping teachers topic and mindset. It's like a big part of what we believe in here on the Teach Better team. And so I am just really excited because we get to like steal Alex's time for yet another 20 minutes and pick his brain about the chat tonight and hear his thoughts on what went down. So Alex, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. A little tired. It was intense trying to follow all the comments and all the notifications going on simultaneously. And I only have one functioning eye. I'm blind in my left eye.
Oh,
so it's like trying to follow
harder.
everything with one eye was a bit hard, but I was able to do it.
You got through it, right? I find that especially when I'm moderating, I have to spend like another hour, hour and a half after the chat. Not saying you have to, but I always do. It takes like an hour to actually go through all my notifications and see what everybody said. And I'm still like the next day, still responding and still seeing people responding to the questions. And it's a lot of fun, but it is really overwhelming. You know, we started Mastery Chat like a little over 2 years ago. And when we first started, there were like 6 people. And 4 of them were us in the chat. And so I got to kind of grow with the chat. But now when you have like 100 people in the chat, it's a little overwhelming if you haven't been like along for that whole ride. So I think you did a great job. Hang on. Katie Alvarez said something. Such perfect timing for me. Thank you for bringing mentoring to the table for discussion. Great job. Katie, I don't know if you know Katie, Alex. She's amazing. She's in our chats all the time. And she is always... she's such an inspiration. I just love what she brings to our conversation. So she's giving you lots of kudos for a great job. I really liked how your topic, you know, teachers helping teachers could go, I think, a lot of directions. And you focused a lot on mentoring. And can you just tell me why that's a topic that you felt you wanted to talk about?
I think it started, I mentioned it, I managed to get it out in the chat that I think it was my second year teaching. I was working with another teacher who had shared that she had spent a whole summer developing units aligned to the NGSS when nobody had anything yet. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Can you share them with me? And she said, no, I made them. You have to make your own. And I was just like, wait, what? Like, no, teachers help each other. So that's like been something in my mind for a long time. It's this idea of teachers helping teachers.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
When the invitation to moderator chat came up, I was like, yeah, it'll be teachers help teachers.
Yeah.
And then about a month ago, teachers helping teachers blew up. So I contacted the lady who started and I'm like, hey, Courtney, can I kind of commandeer your hashtag for an evening?
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, of course you can.
Yeah.
With
so, you know.
Good thing. It would have been really ironic if she'd said no.
That would have been kind of like ridiculously, ironically funny, and we would have had to talk about it. And then she would not have liked that attention. But she didn't. She said yes because she's a teacher that helps other teachers. So that's a win. You know, you said that it was your second year teaching, right? How many years have you been teaching, Alex?
I've been teaching full time. This is my 9th year teaching full time, my 13th year teaching professionally, and my 23rd year teaching in general.
Oh, wow.
When I was 13.
Really? Yeah.
I taught a Sunday school class.
Yeah. So teaching is something that's been in your blood like forever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice. So tell me, is there a question that you were most excited to see people's responses to? Anything that really stood out for you? Like, I cannot wait to see the answers to that.
I think it was question 4, which was what are the traits we want to see in our good mentors and what do we want to not see in mentors? I was hoping to get a few ideas and that one just blew through. So I was like favoriting every single one of them because I'm going to go back and collect them all and write up a blog post about it.
Right. Oh, you have to share it with us.
Yeah. What my job is now. So
yeah,
I'll share it with you.
Absolutely. You know, when I was thinking of that, one of the earlier questions asked about like your experiences with mentoring or with mentors you've had. And I honestly can't remember if I was ever assigned a formal mentor, which kind of sounds silly. There were several teachers, obviously, who mentored me like very closely throughout my time, but I can't remember if they were formal or not. It was in my first job was in North Carolina, and I'm not sure at the time that they actually had a full-blown mentoring program, because that varies so much from school to school, from district to district, state to state. But the mentors in my life that have meant the most to me are the ones who not only like cheerleaded me, but also were like pushing me, like, nope, not good enough, keep going, keep going, keep going, while also like patting me on the back the entire time, saying, you got this, you rock, and then work harder, be better, not like work yourself to death, but you can be more. So for you, tell us about a mentor that you had. Tell us about somebody that really impacted your life.
Oh, so my first year teaching full time, I had a formal mentor assigned to me, and she was one of our reading interventionists, and she was in a different hallway. So she's like, well, I'll help you with what I can, but I don't work in your hallway. So come and ask me if I can help, but I'll help you find other people instead. But I was really lucky that pretty much everyone in my building wrapped around to support me and the two other new teachers we had from like day one.
Yeah.
Which was really useful because my second year, the other teacher I worked with, we were a two-strand building, she left. So I was second year teacher, and all of a sudden I'm the veteran fourth grade teacher in my building.
Oh yeah.
So those mentors really supported me because they came and said, okay, here's what you need to teach the other new people to do.
Right.
I was really lucky to have lots of good veteran teachers who stood by and supported. And I'm still really good friends and keep in touch with all of them.
Yeah.
I've left that district and took a new role.
Right. When Chad Ostrowski and I were talking before the chat, we went live before for just a couple minutes. We were talking about mentors in our lives, and he brought up something that I wish I had thought of first, but Chad's amazing, so he did. He said that administrators are often overlooked when it comes to teachers thinking about mentors. Normally we think, oh, who's your mentor? Oh, it's this teacher that was next door to me, or this teacher down the hall. But we were talking about some of our administrators who were just incredible mentors in our life. I had somebody I worked with up in Cleveland Heights, Toya Robinson, who just guided me so beautifully, and she was incredible. Have you ever had an administrator that was really good at filling that mentor role for you?
A couple, actually. My very first principal, Barb Sarden, who she's the one who hired me, and from day one made sure that she was helping to support and mentor me. And she knew that I was interested in going into school administration, so she gave me lots of opportunities to learn and lead and grow. And then I've been able to connect with, honestly, a ridiculous number of superintendents in Illinois. Like, they're a really small group of people, but I'm connected with a whole bunch of them. Yeah. So it's really cool. I have all these superintendents all over the state who mentor and guide me. And in the chat, John Bartelt, he mentioned something about it, and he keeps pushing me to write a book. He's like, I don't know what the book is. You need to write a book. And I'm like, okay. So if I ever write a book, it'll be because of him.
The Teach Better team has a book that we've written, and it's coming out like soon, which is ridiculously exciting. And I will tell you that writing a book is incredibly difficult, and it is like one of the most cathartic experiences I've ever had. Like, it is so absorbing and so consuming, but so beautiful once you get through it. So I would strongly encourage you to write. And, you don't really even have to know what the end goal of your writing is when you start. I have like 10 different book ideas that I have jotted down a couple ideas for. Just commit yourself to write like half an hour every day or an hour a week. And it's just a really good experience. So I tell everybody, just write a book. It doesn't matter if it's ever published. You got to write a book, and you got to get your thoughts down on paper. So that's really cool. I'm going to bug you about it now. I'm going to be like, Alex, where's the book? Where's the book? Where's the book? So another, like, the second half of that question about what are the traits of a good mentor was, what are the traits that you don't want to see in a mentor? So what did anything like stand out for you that people were saying about what they didn't want to see in a mentor, or was there any common trends you noticed?
some of the common trends I noticed as they kind of flew past me were the mentors who came in and said, you have to do it my way. Where it really seemed like there's people who were assigned as mentors who were like, well, I'm the expert, you need to copy me. And on the flip side, there were some who mentioned having mentors who were like, well, I'm your mentor because I was assigned to be your mentor, not because I want to. And the idea that there's some who have someone who has the title of a mentor, but they don't actually mentor at all. They just check off a box of requirements. And I saw you mentioned that the idea of mentoring being more of a checklist than actually a support system.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, in one district that I've worked in, if you wanted to be a mentor, it was a seniority thing. So whoever had the most seniority that wanted to do it got it. And it also had a stipend. So it wasn't, while on one hand, I really value rewarding the time that a mentor puts in, it also kind of created this culture of, I have the most seniority, I can get this, you know, $2,000 stipend or this $1,000 stipend. And then it becomes a checklist, boxes to check. Katie Alvarez said something else because Katie's awesome. She said, I agree with that point about administrative mentors. Wouldn't have had the journey as an educator I've had if it wasn't for my principal. She allowed me to take risks and held me accountable too. And that's really, in my mind, that's the magic combination. Take risks, hold accountable. Like I just love that pair. And give hugs when you need to cry, because I needed that a few times my first few years of teaching. You know,
I really like that.
What's that?
I really like that, Katie, the idea of taking risks and holding accountable, where it's, hey, you know, you did this thing and it didn't work out. What are you going to do differently? Or you did this thing and it did work out. How are you going to keep doing it? So it's not a flash in the pan thing. That's something I'm going to have to jot that down to remember. So Thank you, Katie.
Katie's awesome, right? I love Katie. Okay, so let me see. What other questions do we have here? Any other ones that you were really excited to see what they said, or anything that stood out that people were tweeting that you were like, oh, wow.
I was surprised with the question about having teachers say no when you asked, that the majority of responses were like, what? No, that's never happened to me.
That's great.
Like, I actually expected more people to be like, oh yeah, there was someone I worked with who just didn't want to share and didn't want to help out. But apparently that's just something that happened to me.
You had a really terrible, unlucky experience.
Yeah, so I'm glad that it's not common. So I'm glad that most people, the teachers they work with, are supportive. And that was true for me too. I mean, that was just one person out of literally thousands that I've worked with now.
Yeah. You know what I found, I think, more than people not being willing to or wanting to share what they had created, I found people not wanting or being willing to talk about what they were doing. You know, it wasn't like, I'm not going to share this with you. It was more, I don't really want to talk to you about why I'm doing this or how I'm doing it or how it could be improved or changed. This is what I do. If you want my copy, here's a copy, but that's it. That's the experience I've had most frequently when I've had like a negative interaction like that. Although I did have, I did have a building I worked in, and I didn't experience it because I guess I kind of knew better than to ask this person because I had heard stories like this of not being willing to share. So it's out there. And it's always just baffled me. I'm like, why on earth wouldn't you just give? Because we're all in this for kids, right? And if we can do something that's going to help us be better, then do it. But I don't know. I guess not everybody sees eye to eye. Certainly the teacher that you asked doesn't see eye to eye like that. So you asked us a question. It's question 5, start of a new school year. It's time to make resolutions. And you asked us to answer, how are you going to mentor a colleague or seek out a mentor to help you grow? So I'm going to flip that on you, and I want you to tell us what you said.
So what am I going to do for that? So I was actually, so with the role I have as a curriculum coordinator in my district, my prime responsibility is to support project-based learning. So now I have 50 teachers in the district who have taken on this challenge to do PBL. And it's my role to go and work with them and help support them so that they can be successful with it. But just this afternoon, I stopped by to talk to one of our new coordinators who she's starting a role with our International Baccalaureate School.
Yeah.
And I just stopped by to check in with her, and she was like, I have no idea like where I'm supposed to even start. And I said, hey, that's where I was last year. So
Yeah.
let's get together and meet regularly so I can help you with this transition. Because last year she was teaching in that building as one of the classroom teachers, and now she's supposed to be coordinating the
Yeah.
curriculum. And so
It's a little
it turns
tricky.
out that I'm going to be unofficially mentoring another coordinator.
Yeah. So you're just looking for opportunities left and right. And I think that if we look, the opportunities are endless for people who either need a mentor, want a mentor, or want to be a mentor. And if we just look for them, like I think in the last week, I don't think, I know, there's dozens of instances where there's been somebody that either could have taught me or that I could have helped, right? And if we have the mindset of we all mentor each other, that's one thing that I realized as I was, preparing my answers for this chat, is that the mentor-mentee relationship is really like, I think it's sometimes better to think of it, especially after your first couple of years of teaching, as like co-mentoring, right? Like I have a team at the school that I work with that is incredible, and we all bounce ideas off of and push each other and support each other. And it's really become this beautiful co-mentoring thing. And we all are of the mindset, I can learn from you, you can learn from me, we can learn together. And so you almost have like mentoring in these two, like start of your career mentoring, which is absolutely critical. And then once you kind of get used to it, how are you still seeking out mentors? Because our learning and our growth never, ever stops, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't remember who it was in the chat who he mentioned that he had, I think he said it was just last year, he went through his building and made a list of like, of the 46 teachers, 43 of them, things that they were really great at. And he just typed the list up and sent it to everybody. And he's like, sorry, I didn't get to like the last 3, but just that idea of everybody has something that they can mentor others in, because everybody's good at least one thing.
I think that's actually my friend that works at the school I work at. Yeah, Adam Yankai. It's his handle is it's Amri. I think that's how you say it. Anyway, he did that. Maybe it was another person, but he did that. He went around and visited almost every classroom and was like, this person does this really well. This person does this really well. And he has as a mission, a goal of celebrating people's success. And I think that's a fabulous model to follow. And he's one of the ones that I'm so fortunate to be able to be in this very collaborative co-mentoring phase. Okay, so I think that you're probably exhausted because you were typing like crazy for an hour with the Mastery Chat that happened tonight. And we've been gabbing on and on. Before we go, I just want to mention, oh, hang on, Katie said something else. Oh my gosh, and Tammy said something. I'm missing comments. Give me a few more minutes, Alex, okay?
Right.
Katie said that follow-up is the meat and potatoes. Yes, Katie, follow-up continuously, grow, grow, grow. Tammy, I wonder how much of a factor time might play in that. Teachers sharing but not discussing or elaborating. Tammy, you are an optimist, and I love that. And perhaps I should change my thinking on that situation, because I know that we're all stressed. There were a couple instances where it was definitely, no, I'm not going to sit down and talk to you about it. But when we're all stressed, sometimes we react to situations differently than we'd like to. Do you ever do that, Alex? When you're stressed, react in ways that you hadn't?
Occasionally.
Just sometimes.
Not often, though.
And then Katie said, wouldn't it be wonderful if coaching was a focus in building culture? I can't talk. Imagine what that would do for the morale and climate in a school. There's so many possibilities when teachers just link arms and collaborate and work together to make education amazing. I love this field that I'm in. It makes me so happy. I love it. And I love talking with people like you, Alex. I do want to mention before we go, though, that just a week ago, we came out with a new course at Teach Better Academy all about mentoring. And in the pre-chat broadcast, Alex, I was saying you must have been like mentally channeling us, because this chat fits perfectly with the course that just came out. Ray Hewitt created it, and it is called The Art of Mentoring, and has some really cool, like, immediate strategies you can use if you're a mentor. She's got like this walking thing and this talking thing, and she's just really clever with the way she puts it together. But a lot of ideas that I'm actually excited to implement myself. And if you're in the Teach Better Academy as a member, the course is available to you right now. If you're not, the membership is $9 a month, or you can just buy the course as a standalone, which is more expensive, so don't do that. But anyway, I just want to let you know that that is there for anybody who's watching interested in that. And Alex, I can't wait to read your book. So you better.
I can't wait to write it.
And if you need any help with figuring out how to brainstorm and write a book, talk to me, because I'm not an expert on it, but I did it once. So.
Well, then I have to find a publisher, and I feel like that's going to be the harder thing.
It's not as hard
finding
as you
someone
think,
who actually
Alex.
wants to publish.
It is not as hard as you think. We'll talk, okay?
All right. We'll
All
talk
right.
about that.
Alex, thank you so much for being a part of the chat tonight. We really appreciate you, and we will see you around on the Twitterverse, okay?
Yeah. And in November at the Teach Better conference.
Yay, that's right.
Be there.
I can't wait to meet you in person, Alex. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Bye.